Imagine growing up in a world where basketball isn't just a game, it's the foundation of your entire life. From the moment you can walk, you have a ball in your hands. Your backyard isn't just for playing, it's a training ground where dreams are built. Your father, a visionary and an outspoken leader, dedicates his life to shaping you and your brothers into future NBA stars. Your older brother becomes a prodigy, a highly touted draft pick who quickly establishes himself as a key player in the league. Your younger brother follows suit, dazzling scouts and fans with his electrifying style and undeniable talent. And then there's you, born into the same legacy, with the same expectations placed upon your shoulders. The path seems preordained. Dominate high school, secure a college scholarship, get drafted, and make your mark in the NBA. Everything points toward that inevitable rise to stardom. But what happens when the script doesn't unfold the way everyone expects? What if, despite all the talent, the work, and the pressure, your story takes a completely different turn? This is the story of LiAngelo Ball, the middle brother of basketball's most famous family. While Lonzo and LaMelo fulfilled the dream of making it to the NBA, LiAngelo's journey was far more complex. He had the skills, the physique, and the name, but instead of soaring to NBA stardom, he faced obstacles that forced him to carve out a different destiny. His career didn't follow the same trajectory, but what many see as failure is actually an untold story of resilience, reinvention, and a surprising new path outside of the NBA. His journey raises a question we all face at some point in life. What happens when the dream you've always chased slips away? Do you keep fighting for it, or do you find another way to define success? When you hear the name Ball, you immediately think of basketball. The Ball family isn't just another sports family, it's a basketball dynasty, built on ambition, talent, and an unshakable belief in their own greatness. At the center of it all is LeVar Ball, the outspoken and fearless father who boldly proclaimed that all three of his sons would make it to the NBA. He wasn't just dreaming, he was building a brand, shaping a legacy, and setting expectations that the entire sports world would watch unfold. And for a while, everything seemed to be going according to plan. Lonzo Ball, the eldest son, was a college sensation at UCLA, became the second overall pick in the 2017 NBA draft, and was immediately thrust into the spotlight as a future star. LaMelo Ball, the youngest, took a more unconventional path, playing overseas before dominating the NBA as a Rookie of the Year and future franchise cornerstone. Then there's LiAngelo Ball, the middle brother. He was strong, skilled, and a prolific scorer in high school. Many assumed he would follow the same path as Lonzo and LaMelo, moving seamlessly into the NBA. His name carried weight, and with his family's influence, it seemed inevitable that he too would make it. But basketball isn't just about talent or family name. It's about opportunity, timing, and sometimes a little bit of luck. And for LiAngelo, the path that once seemed so clear began to take an unexpected detour. His college career ended abruptly due to an off-court incident. His attempts to break into the NBA were met with roadblocks. Despite his talent, he struggled to find the same footing as his brothers in the professional league. To many, this looked like failure. The brother who didn't make it. The one who fell short of the family's grand plan. But what if that's not the real story? What if, instead of failure, LiAngelo Ball's journey is actually one of resilience, adaptation, and reinvention? Today, we're going to dive deep into how LiAngelo Ball stepped away from the NBA dream, not as a defeat, but as an opportunity to carve out a new, unexpected path in the basketball world. His story isn't just about missed chances, it's about rewriting your own destiny when life doesn't go according to plan. Born on November 24, 1998, in Anaheim, California, LiAngelo Ball was destined to have basketball in his blood. Growing up in a household where the sport was more than just a pastime, it was a family identity, a business, and a vision for the future. His journey was seemingly mapped out before he could even understand it. His father, LeVar Ball, was not just a parent but a man on a mission. He wasn't content with letting his sons navigate their basketball careers on their own. Instead, he actively crafted their paths, promoted them like a brand, and set sky-high expectations for all three brothers. From a young age, LiAngelo, Lonzo, and LaMelo were drilled in the game, playing together and honing their skills with an intensity few could match. They trained tirelessly under their father's guidance, constantly pushing the boundaries of their potential. LeVar didn't just encourage them to play basketball, he built an entire empire around their success. He founded the Big Baller brand, BBB, a sportswear company meant to rival industry giants, and created a buzz around his sons that made them more than just prospects. They became a media sensation. Among the three brothers, LiAngelo was always known for his physicality and scoring ability. Unlike Lonzo, who was a gifted passer, and LaMelo, who had a flashy, unpredictable style of play, LiAngelo was a pure scorer. He was strong, aggressive, and had a natural knack for putting the ball in the basket. While some doubted whether his skill set would translate to the highest levels of the game, his dominance at the high school level was undeniable. At Chino Hills High School, LiAngelo became part of one of the most talked-about high school teams in basketball history. Playing alongside Lonzo, LaMelo, and future NBA player Onyeka Okongwu, he helped lead Chino Hills to a perfect 35-0 record in the 2015-16 season, winning the California State Championship. The team's fast-paced, high-scoring style caught national attention, and they quickly became an internet sensation. LiAngelo averaged an incredible 33.8 points per game as a senior, showcasing his ability to score at will. He once dropped 72 points in a single game, proving he had the talent to dominate at that level. At that time, it seemed like the Ball family prophecy was unfolding exactly as planned. Lonzo was already on his way to UCLA, en route to the NBA. LiAngelo, the next in line, had committed to play for UCLA as well. The dream was alive. The Ball brothers were becoming household names. Everything was falling into place. Or so it seemed. Despite his incredible high school success, questions began to surface about whether LiAngelo's game would translate to the next level. He wasn't as quick or as versatile as Lonzo. He didn't have the same elite playmaking ability. Scouts started to wonder, was he just a great high school scorer, or did he truly have what it took to excel in college and, ultimately, the NBA? Little did he know, his journey was about to take a drastic and unexpected turn, one that would change the course of his basketball career forever. Despite his remarkable high school career, LiAngelo Ball's transition to college and professional basketball did not unfold as smoothly as it did for his brothers. While Lonzo Ball thrived at UCLA, becoming a top NBA draft pick, and LaMelo Ball later found success in international leagues before making his way to the NBA, LiAngelo's journey took a very different, and much more challenging, route. His next step after high school was playing for the UCLA Bruins, one of the most prestigious college basketball programs in the country. Given the school's rich history of producing NBA talent, including his older brother, this was supposed to be his launchpad to the league. However, LiAngelo's college basketball career never even had a chance to properly begin. Before he could even play his first official game for UCLA, LiAngelo and two of his teammates were arrested in China for shoplifting while on a team trip. The incident made international headlines and put immense pressure on both UCLA and the Ball family. With the world watching, UCLA suspended him indefinitely, forcing LiAngelo to make a crucial decision about his future. Rather than waiting out his suspension, LeVar Ball withdrew LiAngelo from UCLA, believing his son was being unfairly punished. This meant that, unlike most NBA prospects, LiAngelo never played a single minute of college basketball. Without the exposure and development that college provides, his path to the NBA suddenly became much more difficult. After leaving UCLA, LiAngelo attempted to take an unconventional route to the NBA. He joined LaMelo to play in Lithuania for BC Vytautas, a professional team in a lesser-known league. While the move generated plenty of media attention, it did little to convince NBA scouts that LiAngelo was a legitimate prospect. His performances were inconsistent, and he struggled to prove that he could be effective against professional-level competition. Still determined to make it to the NBA, LiAngelo declared for the 2018 NBA draft, hoping that his scoring ability would be enough to earn him a selection. However, on draft night, he went completely undrafted, a reality check that highlighted how NBA teams viewed his potential. Unlike Lonzo, who was a lottery pick, or LaMelo, who would later be a top 3 selection, LiAngelo did not hear his name called at all. But he didn't give up. He continued to pursue his NBA dream by participating in the NBA Summer League, hoping to impress scouts and secure a contract. He later joined the G League, the NBA's developmental league, playing for the Greensboro Swarm, the affiliate team of the Charlotte Hornets, where LaMelo was becoming a star. Despite flashes of potential, LiAngelo never managed to secure a stable position on an NBA roster. He was often signed to short-term deals and training camp contracts, only to be waived before the season began. The reality was setting in. The NBA dream was slipping away. Unlike his brothers, who had clear paths to NBA success, LiAngelo found himself stuck in a cycle of short-lived opportunities and constant uncertainty. His biggest challenge was proving to NBA teams that he was more than just the other Ball brother, that he had the skills and unique qualities needed to earn a roster spot. But with every setback came a new opportunity, and LiAngelo soon realized that his basketball journey didn't have to revolve around the NBA. His story was about to take a different turn, one that would redefine his career in ways no one expected. While Lonzo and LaMelo Ball made their mark in the NBA, earning lucrative contracts and building their own legacies, LiAngelo's journey was far from straightforward. The road he once envisioned leading to the NBA was blocked, forcing him to face a tough decision: keep chasing a dream that seemed increasingly unlikely, or pivot and find new opportunities in basketball and beyond. For a time, it seemed as though LiAngelo was caught in a relentless cycle, trying to prove that he deserved a place in the NBA, but each attempt came up short. He participated in multiple NBA summer leagues, joining teams with the hope of making a strong impression, but his efforts were unsuccessful. Unlike Lonzo, who quickly established himself as the future of the Los Angeles Lakers, and LaMelo, who became the Charlotte Hornets franchise player, LiAngelo's NBA aspirations seemed to fade with each passing year. Faced with this reality, LiAngelo made the bold choice to step away from the traditional NBA route. Rather than dwelling on missed opportunities, he shifted his focus to alternative basketball leagues and career paths that offered unique possibilities outside of the NBA's limelight. Instead of waiting for an NBA team to give him a chance, LiAngelo turned his attention to alternative basketball leagues, such as the Lithuanian Basketball League and the JBA, Junior Basketball Association, which was founded by his father, LeVar Ball. In these leagues, LiAngelo had the opportunity to play and showcase his skills without the intense pressure and scrutiny of traditional NBA scouting. While these leagues didn't offer the same prestige as the NBA, they allowed him to keep his career alive and gain valuable playing experience. LiAngelo's move to Lithuania, in particular, was a significant moment in his career. Although the team in Lithuania was not on the NBA radar, it provided a unique experience and helped him develop a global perspective on basketball. He had the chance to play internationally and test his skills in a different style of play, which broadened his understanding of the game. While it didn't lead to an NBA contract, it opened doors to new opportunities in alternative basketball circuits, including the NBA G League, where he continued to work on his craft. In stepping away from the traditional NBA dream, LiAngelo also embraced the opportunity to reinvent himself. He understood that success is not always defined by playing in the NBA. Instead of staying focused on a dream that was slipping further away, he found new avenues to channel his talents and interests. His career took a turn towards sports marketing, personal branding, and playing in less conventional leagues, where he could still be involved in the game and build a future on his own terms. LiAngelo began to get more involved with the Ball family brand, leveraging his family's growing influence in sports and entertainment. As the family's brand became more recognizable, LiAngelo's ability to capitalize on their shared name and image helped him expand his presence in the basketball world. His role wasn't limited to just being a player. He became a key ambassador for the Ball family empire, helping promote the family's brands, including Big Baller Brand. By embracing the idea of diversification, LiAngelo started to build a portfolio beyond just basketball. From social media influencing to public speaking engagements and collaborating with sponsors, he created a multifaceted career that was no longer solely dependent on professional basketball. This shift allowed him to stay connected to the game in different ways and also explore other passions that gave him a sense of fulfillment. LiAngelo's decision to pursue alternate routes instead of continuing the relentless pursuit of an NBA roster spot may have been the most freeing and career-affirming decision of his life. He was no longer tied to a narrow definition of success that only considered an NBA contract as the end goal. Instead, LiAngelo began to realize that success is subjective. It's about finding happiness and fulfillment in the path that feels right for you, not necessarily the one everyone else expects you to follow. His story is a reminder that persistence is important, but adaptability is equally crucial. By embracing opportunities outside of the NBA, LiAngelo carved out a unique place for himself in the basketball world and beyond, showing that there are countless ways to succeed and make an impact, even if it doesn't involve the traditional route everyone assumes is the only way. Today, LiAngelo is not just known as the middle ball brother. He is known for his resilience, his ability to pivot, and his refusal to let circumstances define him. LiAngelo Ball's story is much more than just about basketball. It's a narrative that reflects the complex intersection of personal choice, external expectations, and resilience. By not following the traditional NBA path, LiAngelo showed us that success doesn't have to look the same for everyone, especially in a world where there is often immense pressure to conform to a certain script. His journey is a powerful reminder that sometimes the road less traveled can lead to unexpected but fulfilling destinations. Growing up in the Ball family, LiAngelo's life was shaped by immense expectations. His father, LeVar Ball, was a visionary who built a brand around his sons, promoting them as future basketball stars. The spotlight on his brothers, Lonzo and LaMelo, only amplified the pressure. For a long time, LiAngelo's story seemed to be pre-written. He would follow in the footsteps of his brothers and make it to the NBA. However, when things didn't go according to plan, LiAngelo was faced with a difficult decision: keep chasing the NBA dream or redefine what success meant for him. The decision to walk away from the constant pursuit of the NBA opened up an important lesson for anyone facing a similar crossroads in life. Sometimes the pressure to follow someone else's path can be stifling and counterproductive. LiAngelo realized that just because his brothers found success in the NBA didn't mean he had to follow the same route. In fact, by stepping away from the conventional NBA narrative, he was able to find his own unique path, one that allowed him to keep playing basketball, embrace new opportunities, and ultimately live life on his own terms. While family support is vital, the expectations placed on LiAngelo by his father and the public were incredibly high. The Ball family's brand had grown in prominence, with LeVar Ball often publicly promoting his son's potential to become basketball legends. In this environment, LiAngelo felt the pressure to live up to the reputation that his family had cultivated. External pressures, from media to fans to even himself, created a situation where LiAngelo's worth seemed to be measured exclusively by his ability to make it into the NBA. In many ways, LiAngelo's story highlights the emotional burden that external expectations can place on an athlete. The constant focus on making it into the NBA left little room for personal growth and self-discovery. When LiAngelo wasn't able to secure a permanent position in the NBA, it wasn't just a personal setback. It felt like a collective failure, one that was scrutinized by everyone around him. This sense of pressure is something many young athletes experience, especially those in high-profile families or who are part of a legacy that demands excellence at every turn. But as time passed, LiAngelo began to redefine his success. The pressure to play in the NBA began to fade, and he realized that his value didn't depend on making it to the top tier of basketball. His story offers an important lesson about the importance of carving out one's own identity and embracing personal growth beyond others' expectations. LiAngelo's journey is also a powerful illustration of the power of reinvention. In a world that often tells us to stick with the plan, LiAngelo's choice to explore alternatives to the NBA was an act of self-liberation. While it's often seen as a failure when an athlete doesn't make it to the NBA, LiAngelo showed that there are many other avenues to pursue within the world of basketball and beyond. His decision to join leagues like the JBA and play internationally in Lithuania was not a step down, but a step toward redefining his legacy and exploring the broader world of basketball in new ways. Moreover, LiAngelo's move into sports marketing and branding with his family's enterprise proved that athletes aren't just limited to playing the sport. By embracing the family business and making it a part of his career, LiAngelo showed that one can find a fulfilling career path even when the traditional route seems closed off. His story teaches us that it's possible to pivot and reinvent yourself in the face of challenges, and that personal fulfillment often lies in exploring options that others may dismiss or overlook. LiAngelo's journey also mirrors the personal growth many individuals face when confronting adversity. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures, he chose to learn from them and adapt, ultimately finding a sense of peace with his circumstances. His experience challenges the idea that success can only be measured by external validation, such as contracts or endorsements. True success is often found in how well we adapt to challenges and create our own path forward, regardless of the direction the world expects us to take. In the end, LiAngelo's story is one of resilience and growth, a testament to how an athlete can evolve beyond the confines of the expectations placed upon them. It reminds us that while following the traditional path may work for some, others may find even greater success in finding their own way. By embracing his unique journey, LiAngelo not only shaped his own career but also sent a powerful message to others who feel pressured to follow a preordained script. It's okay to rewrite your story and pursue what truly makes you happy. LiAngelo Ball's story is one that resonates with many of us, especially when it comes to the pressure to conform to a certain path in life. Whether it's in our careers, relationships, or personal goals, how often have we found ourselves feeling compelled to follow a prescribed route simply because it was considered the right or expected one? How many times have we feared that not meeting certain milestones or achieving specific goals meant we were failing? These are questions that strike a chord with everyone, especially in a world where external validation and success are often measured by standards that might not align with our true selves. LiAngelo's journey serves as a powerful reminder that failure is often just a matter of perspective. Society tends to view a path that doesn't lead to traditional or expected success as a failure, but LiAngelo's story proves that the real measure of success isn't always about winning the championship or landing the big contract. Sometimes, success is about finding your own voice, embracing resilience, and taking charge of your future, regardless of what others think or expect from you. How many times have we all doubted our own decisions because they didn't align with what society, our families, or even our friends envisioned for us? It's easy to get caught in the trap of comparison, constantly looking at what others are achieving and feeling that we're somehow falling behind. But LiAngelo's journey encourages us to question these external measures of success. He didn't follow in the footsteps of his brothers, nor did he achieve what many thought was his preordained destiny in the NBA. Yet, he carved out his own path and found success on his terms, which is ultimately more fulfilling than following someone else's blueprint. LiAngelo's success story isn't defined by an NBA contract, but by his ability to reinvent himself and find meaning in other areas. When he realized the traditional basketball route might not be for him, he didn't give up or retreat from the game altogether. Instead, he found a new way to stay connected to basketball, becoming a key player in alternative basketball leagues and embracing roles beyond the court, such as sports marketing and branding. This shift is a lesson in adaptability, reminding us all that success doesn't have to be one-dimensional. It's about finding a place where we can feel fulfilled, respected, and true to our passions, even if it looks different from what others expect. It's also a reminder that life doesn't have a one-size-fits-all solution. The idea that there's only one path to success is a myth that many of us are conditioned to believe. The truth is, each of us has a unique journey, and the measure of our success should be about authenticity and personal fulfillment, not about fitting into a mold that society has created for us. LiAngelo teaches us that success is defined by how we overcome challenges and find peace with our choices, even when they're not in line with everyone else's expectations. How many of us have faced moments of doubt, wondering if we were making the right decision because it didn't align with the path others expected us to follow? LiAngelo's story teaches us that it's okay to go off the beaten path. In fact, sometimes it's the most rewarding journey. Success is about discovering what truly matters to you, what aligns with your values, and what brings you satisfaction. LiAngelo's willingness to step away from the pursuit of the NBA dream and explore new avenues proves that sometimes the most profound success comes when we take control of our own narrative, rather than letting it be dictated by others. Moreover, LiAngelo's experience serves as a testament to the power of self-empowerment. You don't need to meet everyone else's standards to be successful. Instead, success comes from making choices that resonate with you, choices that align with your own passions and beliefs. It might not always be easy to break free from the expectations of family, friends, or society, but finding your true path often requires embracing your individuality, regardless of the pressure to conform. So, I invite you to take a moment and reflect. How often do you feel like you have to follow a predetermined path because it's the right one in others' eyes? Where in your life are you feeling pressured to meet expectations that may not even be your own? LiAngelo Ball's story is a powerful reminder that the right path is the one that feels authentic to you. If you've ever felt lost or unsure about your direction, just remember, you are not alone. Many of us struggle with the same doubts, and sometimes, like LiAngelo, the best thing we can do is to step back and redefine what success really means in our own terms. As you reflect on your own life's journey, ask yourself what success looks like for you. Don't let the noise of external pressures drown out your own voice. Be brave enough to carve out your own path, even if it's different from what others might expect. Success isn't a destination. It's a journey that is uniquely yours. LiAngelo Ball's journey is a testament to the fact that sometimes, the path we think we're supposed to follow is not the one that leads us to the greatest success. Instead of focusing solely on the NBA, LiAngelo had the opportunity to redefine his role within the world of basketball and pursue a multitude of options that could prove just as impactful, if not more so, than the traditional professional athlete trajectory. Rather than continuing to chase a dream that may not have been the best fit for him, he has several exciting and fulfilling alternatives that align with both his passions and skill set. One possibility for LiAngelo is to embrace the role of an ambassador for basketball, a position that would allow him to stay closely connected to the sport he loves without the intense competition of the NBA. His journey through the highs and lows of the basketball world gives him a unique perspective that could inspire countless young athletes. As someone who has been on both the edges of success and faced setbacks, LiAngelo has the potential to teach others about resilience, perseverance, and the importance of mental toughness. His story could become an empowering narrative for young players who dream of playing professionally but are unsure of how to navigate the inevitable obstacles along the way. Becoming an ambassador could take many forms: hosting camps, giving speeches at schools, or becoming involved in youth basketball programs. These platforms would allow him to use his experience to connect with and mentor the next generation of athletes, particularly those who might not have access to traditional basketball opportunities. Through these efforts, he could provide invaluable insights into the game, focusing not just on skills but also on the mental and emotional resilience required to face setbacks and find new opportunities. LiAngelo has experienced the highs of success and the lows of rejection, and this dual perspective makes him an ideal mentor for young players who are trying to navigate the same pressures. Another powerful alternative for LiAngelo could be to use his influence to help young athletes build their personal brands. Over the years, we've seen the growing importance of social media and personal branding in the world of sports, and LiAngelo is no stranger to the power of media. With his family's brand, Big Baller Brand, he has already gained valuable experience in the world of entrepreneurship, marketing, and brand building. LiAngelo could turn this knowledge into a valuable resource for aspiring athletes. He could help young talents craft their personal narratives, market themselves effectively, and navigate the business side of sports. His experience in the spotlight has already provided him with first-hand insight into what it takes to build a strong public persona, and he could offer this expertise to athletes who may not yet know how to manage their image or market themselves properly. Whether it's through social media strategies, endorsements, or even product launches, LiAngelo could establish a new niche in sports entrepreneurship, helping athletes unlock opportunities that go beyond the game itself. While the NBA may not have been the right fit for LiAngelo, there are numerous alternative basketball leagues around the world that continue to grow in prominence, both in the United States and internationally. The NBA G League, overseas leagues in Europe and Asia, and even professional 3x3 basketball competitions offer significant opportunities for players looking to make a name for themselves outside of the traditional route. LiAngelo could consider joining one of these leagues or become actively involved in promoting them. The global appeal of basketball is undeniable, and LiAngelo has a chance to be a key player in this growing market. By investing in or promoting alternative basketball leagues, he could both help the sport reach new audiences and continue to live his passion for the game, even if he's not playing at the highest level. As leagues around the world attract attention, players like LiAngelo, who are not just limited to the NBA, can become stars in their own right, contributing to the global growth of the sport. With his background and family name, he has the influence to bring attention to these leagues and highlight the talent that often goes unnoticed by traditional scouting systems. LiAngelo's path could also take him into business ventures outside of basketball entirely. Having grown up surrounded by his father's entrepreneurial endeavors, LiAngelo has undoubtedly gained a solid understanding of business and branding. He could consider exploring sports marketing, media ventures, or athlete-focused companies. For example, sports technology is a growing field, and LiAngelo could invest in or even create a platform that brings athletes, coaches, and fans closer together through innovative products, services, or content. His family's brand, Big Baller Brand, has shown that there's potential to make an impact in the world of athletic wear and apparel. LiAngelo could help steer the brand into new territories, expanding it to reach new markets or tapping into new categories like athleisure, footwear, or fitness technology. By diversifying into new ventures and collaborating with other athletes, brands, or influencers, LiAngelo could build something that's sustainable and significant long-term. Ultimately, the possibilities for LiAngelo Ball are abundant, and his future is still being written. He's already proven that he's not just a middle brother, he's an individual with his own path and a unique story to tell. Success doesn't have to be confined to one realm or defined by traditional expectations. LiAngelo's decision to move away from the NBA dream and explore these alternative opportunities may have positioned him in a place where he can thrive on his own terms. His potential to impact the basketball world, the business world, and the lives of young athletes is limitless. It's important to remember that success is not always linear, and the path to fulfillment can often be found by stepping away from what's expected and embracing opportunities that are uniquely aligned with one's personal vision. LiAngelo Ball's story proves that sometimes the best way to succeed is to reinvent yourself and carve out your own niche, one that speaks to your passions, your strengths, and the values you hold dear. LiAngelo Ball's journey is a compelling narrative that challenges the conventional notion of success in the world of sports. While many would consider the ultimate achievement in basketball to be an NBA contract, LiAngelo's story proves that true success is not necessarily defined by the biggest stage or the most prestigious league. His path has not followed the expected script of a rising star, yet his resilience, adaptability, and courage to carve out a unique path are qualities that define a different kind of triumph, one that goes beyond the flashy headlines of NBA contracts and championship rings. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that success is only achieved through the most visible avenues, especially in a world where professional sports are often glorified to the point where players are judged solely by their achievements in the most elite arenas. However, LiAngelo's journey teaches us that success should not be measured solely by these standards. His story is one of persistence, where every setback became an opportunity for reinvention. Despite the challenges he faced, whether it was his suspension from UCLA, his struggles to secure an NBA spot, or the unmet expectations placed on him by the world, LiAngelo never stopped pursuing his passions. His ability to adapt and pivot away from the NBA dream, without losing his love for basketball or his drive to succeed, speaks volumes about his character. Resilience, as displayed by LiAngelo, is not just about bouncing back after failure. It's about redefining failure itself and using it as a springboard for growth. He didn't see not making it into the NBA as the end of his career, but rather as the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter where he could still be involved in basketball, inspire others, and build his legacy in his own way. Moreover, his courage to step away from the well-worn path of NBA stardom is a powerful reminder that there is no single, right way to achieve success. Sometimes, it's about embracing the uncertainty of new opportunities and trusting that the path less traveled can lead to fulfillment in ways that we may not have anticipated. In a world that places so much pressure on following traditional routes to success, LiAngelo Ball's willingness to carve out his own path serves as a reminder that authenticity and self-discovery are often just as important as the accolades we strive for. In the grand scheme of things, success is not a destination, it's a journey. It's about finding purpose and meaning in the work you do, the impact you have, and the person you become along the way. For LiAngelo Ball, his journey proves that sometimes the most remarkable success stories aren't the ones that unfold in front of a crowd, but the ones that are built through quiet perseverance, personal growth, and the courage to live life on your own terms. So, the next time we face a setback or find ourselves questioning the traditional path to success, we can draw inspiration from LiAngelo's story and remember, it's not always about reaching the pinnacle of fame or wealth, but about staying true to yourself and finding fulfillment in the journey you create along the way. Now that you've heard the story of LiAngelo Ball, it's time for you to weigh in. What do you think about his journey so far? Do you believe he still has a shot at the NBA, or do you think he made the right call by stepping away from that dream and forging his own path? Is he better off in the alternative leagues, helping shape the future of basketball in his own way, or should he still be fighting for a spot in the most prestigious league in the world? The beauty of LiAngelo's story lies in the fact that it raises so many important questions about success, identity, and the pressure of family expectations. And we want to hear your opinion. Do you think he could still make a return to the NBA in the future, or is his new chapter just as meaningful as making it to the league? How does his decision to redefine his career resonate with you, especially when we often hear so much about the standard route to success? Comment below and let us know your thoughts on LiAngelo Ball's journey. Whether you think he's a role model for others who don't fit the traditional mold or if you still hold hope for his NBA future. Your perspective matters, and we love hearing from our community. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more incredible basketball stories, in-depth player journeys, and the latest news from the world of sports. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an exciting update. We've got plenty more content coming your way, including stories of athletes who have taken unexpected paths to success, just like LiAngelo. Join the conversation, stay informed, and be part of this basketball journey with us. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, because the more we talk about these fascinating stories, the more we can learn from them together. Let's keep the conversation going, and who knows? Maybe LiAngelo's journey will inspire the next generation of athletes to follow their own paths, regardless of the challenges they face. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button and become part of our growing basketball community.